3 weeks off in September, the end of September.
They just got to school, right?
No, they went to
Oh,
school
no.
in July.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So they started early, but it's like they split up all the days instead of having like 3 months off in the summer,
Mm,
which I kind of like it better because it's like for like spring, we have like 2 weeks off and it's just same amount of days off, just split up throughout the year.
yeah, that's cool. There's something to look forward to, right? To instead of like a longer summer.
Yeah, it's nice.
Dan's here. Yay.
Yeah, Dan got derailed by a Jason question. He's asking about a plot device, so I jumped into my vendors and see if I could help the kids save some money and got lost track of time.
All good.
Good morning. You guys are doing well. Keep going.
We were just chatting about family reunion and the rodeo.
It's in Houston this year.
It was in Houston this year? What?
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
In February. It's in
Oh,
Houston.
family reunion in Houston?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some cowboy boots.
Isn't Houston close to the water?
Yes, it is.
Either way, I'm getting some boots.
Either way, Fabby's getting boots. Yeah, we're going to San Antonio for Mega Camp next on Sunday. I leave for some. Okay, yeah, it's right there.
When I went to San Antonio last year, we went to a honky tonk for one of the networkings, and I was not dressed the part, and somebody gave me shit, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm from California."
I don't know what cowboys are.
They were like, "You came in a dress." I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't get the memo."
Fabby was wearing flip flops and a dress.
I was wearing heels and a dress. I didn't have time to change.
That's kind of funny.
It was really funny.
That's kind of funny.
So
I
that's
love
not
that.
happening.
That's weird.
I thought it was really funny.
Well, guys, is that all the wins, celebrations, things you're just dang proud of? I love that I get to see the underside of Jim's face and Max's forehead. The rest of you, I hope, are doing well and live. I can't tell if you're alive other than
We're
voice.
alive.
So
Barely, but we're here.
Michelle's putting on a pretty good.
I think I got that listing yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
We're waiting on approval from the sister. The parents passed away. The brother, he's ready to go, so he's just waiting for her word.
Nice.
That's
And
awesome.
she's in Texas, so just wait.
Hey, I had an offer situation I thought was not an offer. We're in escrow, and I thought it was going to fall through because the seller refused to do some repairs. Thought for sure it was dead, and my buyer's like, "We want the house." So it's moving on. 9/25.
There you go.
Pretty excited.
Pretty stoked. Lots of work needed to be done in the house, or just some.
Just the roof. Just the roof. It needs replacing. It's 23 years old.
I just found out one of my rentals needs a roof. That was a
Awful.
text this morning.
Yeah, sucks.
Flex Seal on it.
He said, "My wife wants the house, so we're moving forward." I'm
I
like,
love that.
yay!
There you go, King.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. I'm showing property today to my chiropractor.
Noise.
Crack your back, you're out house touring?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I showed a bunch of houses yesterday. I'm tired of showing houses yesterday. I just so disappointing to see houses with a comma in the price point. I should say 2 commas in the price point, and they are just ugly.
Yeah. Story of my life.
I'm like, oh man, this house has got to blow your socks off. Wrong way. It blew your socks on. Run out of the house as fast as you can. What do you guys want to talk about today?
Well, you could always, it would be super appreciated by all of us, I'm sure, if you would show us the prompt for the, that TC process that you showed in the class yesterday.
Okay.
It's a
We
great
would not be
prompt. I
opposed
just
to that.
don't know how to do it.
Okay.
You asked.
So here's the seller's transaction skill.
Okay, let me make this bigger. So we need to be logged into Claude first, right?
Yeah, see the thing on the right that's scrolling?
No.
That's the prompt. All of that.
Okay, well, that's not something that'll fit in the chat.
No, that's why I smiled when you said, would you show me
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
All of these files are what are built into that. Here's
Could
the
we maybe do a arrange or schedule a workshop around that?
sure.
That would be fantastic.
Here's my advice to you. If you want to build something like that, something in your AI to create a process for you, tell it, I want to make X, Y, and Z. I want to do X, Y, and Z. Ask me any pertinent questions that you need. Let's get it done.
Well, it's easy for you to say.
It is easy for me to say because that's all I said. I'm serious when I say that. It's not that complicated. You don't have to have a super sharp prompt to get it moving. Yeah, I'm sure super sharp prompts help. But let me get back to my agent training thing. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Agent training. Where was it? Executive transaction coordinator. So here's just to give you some insight. I want to show the absolute breadth of this. This is what I started with. This is an entire day of back and forth communication with my AI. And it all started with, I want to build a virtual executive transaction coordinator for buyers. I think we need to start with understanding the timelines in the contract. I have uploaded a blank one so you can first build a timeline of the contract. Then we can build out the needed emails, escrow, lender open, golden email intro for insurance, next steps to the buyer, including a list of inspectors we currently use, etc. Boom. Great. I'll start by reading the contract. I'm not kidding you when I tell you, just tell it what you want to do. And from there, it built out a system. Here's all the days in the calendar, floating days of receipt, countering backwards, right? Counting backwards from the close of escrow, 3 days prior, buyer loan approval without PTD, seller delivers receipts for agreed repairs, close of escrow date. I'm just going through to make sure that those are accurate. Then I go, okay, it's all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Right. And I said, okay, search my email for new escrows that I've sent the title and next steps that I've sent to my buyer, and let's get some emails built out, like getting an idea of what I've already sent. And then from there, it built, where is it? There's a TC data engine, email templates. Right. Here's the different 7 templates we have built in the system. Open escrow, right? Dan standard new escrow email. New escrow, property sales price, closing price, blah, 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 lender's name, blah, 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 buyers, blah, blah, blah. Open lender, confirming file is moving. Next step, right? Golden emails to insurance. You should know this email.
Yeah, we use that.
Right? I mean, it's built into my plan. And then the buyer's
Yeah,
next steps email. And it has places built in which will pull information from the contract. And it built these and it said, okay, review them. All of them. And we started out. Next, we went into finalizing the emails, which I just showed you. On the inspection items, I want to make sure that they know that this is a time to go and investigate anything that's a concern of theirs. on the property through different inspections, but also traffic patterns, neighborhoods, other items of concern. We're looking to find major concerns with safety, structural, mechanical systems within the property that may cause them to not want to move forward. It's important that, right? It's important. Where we at? It's important that they know that the seller is not obligated to do anything, but we will get the right to ask them to remedy the items disapproved of. On the title stuff, they will be getting an email from our title and escrow team to fill out title docs, and will also receive emails from their encrypted, I spelled encrypted way wrong, encrypted email server that will contain the title commitment and other important docs for the review. The title commitment will have their hyperlinks to all kinds of additional information, included but not limited to CC&Rs, recorded items, and other property-specific info. So I wanted that to be part of my next step email. So if you go up to the next step emails from my buyer, it has all that stuff.
Mm.
Right? Title, watch for 2 emails from title.
Mhm.
First was an email from escrow asking you to fill out your title escrow paperwork. Please complete it promptly so they can do their work. Secondly, you'll receive a separate email from their encrypted secure email server containing your title commitment and other important documents to review. The title commitment has hyperlinks to a lot of additional information, including, but not limited to, CC&Rs, recorded items, and easements. Open those links, read through them. You have 5 days from receipt to raise anything you addressed, so don't sit on it and tell me about it.
Mhm.
Anything that gives you a pause, right? And tell me about anything that gives you a pause. Like, I don't like the way that this reads and formats, but you see how, like, I'm telling it what I want in the emails to make sure that those sentiments are sent
And
across
that's
the
half of that we've got done because we already have the template emails. It's just trying to get the system, trying to program the system to do it instead of my VA.
Yeah, and that's all it is. And now
Yeah.
it's okay. Good. This is the exact substance gaps we need. Both go into the next step emails. Then a whole bunch of blah blah blah. You got to read this and make sure that it's on the same track that you're trying to get on. All right. Let's pull a tighter list of the inspectors we've had in the past few months so we can build out an inspector roster, right? I wanted an inspector roster. And it pulled here. Here's all the ones that you've used. Here's your buyer inspector roster. It's creating these files for me in my Claude. So all of these are reference files for my transaction coordinator
Did it pull that from your email or where did it get the inspector things?
from my email. I was like, here, find all the inspectors I've used in the last year.
Perfect, thanks.
Right? Here's my inspector roster. Pillar to post, top tier. Right? If you're doing just general home inspections, right? Buyer inspector roster. General home inspections, termite wood destroying recommended add-ons, sewer and plumbing, specialty stuff, roof, pool, HVAC, mold. Right. And then it even said, hey, these 2 aren't on your Big Rock list. Maybe we need to add those. And then it even says, here's a change in your buyer template. Here's the emails that we're changing and how we're changing them. From there, again, clearing up some things, adding the inspectors, show the email, how it would look deliverable, please. I want to see exactly how it looked so that it gave me what it looks like delivered. All right, pretty clean, pretty easy. All right, congrats. You're officially under contract. Here's what happens next over the next few weeks and dates. I'll be coordinating all of it with you, but a few items you need to act on, so please read through this. Acceptance date, close of escrow date, earnest money, due now, $5,000 to First American Title, due by this date, wire or cashier's check. Here's the contact information, right? I love this. Never wire funds based on an email instructions without calling escrow at no number to confirm. Wire funds real. Inspections and due diligence items, insurance, start that today. Your loan stay with your lender, and title, watch for these 2 emails. Here's the inspectors that we use, what I'm handling for you. I'm opening escrow, doing all this stuff. And now what's coming later? We talk about this. Buyers want to know what's happening next, right?
Yep, 100%.
Right, yes. So this is just giving you something that's scalable, that's pulling information based on your deal and sending it to your client so that they have a very clean, clear, and uncut expectation. Right. So I also changed some stuff in here. Oh, I didn't like to have that. I want to change this. I want to update that. I want this to look better. I want this organized better. All of this changes. Goes through it, updates the items that you want, says, hey, do you want me to change this? Yes, I do. I didn't answer the question. It's like, yes, please, could point to any 3 items that I floated. So it did all 3.
That's
Then it
fine.
goes back into, okay, here's the email for, hey, we're done with inspections. This is what happens next. Here's what's happening next. Again, preferred inspector's email, tightened up a little bit to make it look prettier. I use Follow Up Boss as my CRM, and it has an HTML email builder, so I can just have this plug right in. Command does the same thing. You can build templates in Command if you wanted to and trigger it. But this is, again, one Sunday's worth of work for me to go through and build all this out. And it's just
Right.
asking questions and going through it. But I'll tell you, if you notice where the slide bar is, I'm not even through
Right, you got a
all
lot
of it,
going.
because I then went in and I added every single checklist for Command so that it had a screenshot of what was required, what was recommended or conditionally, and what was optional. So that when it goes through, it says, here's the screenshots for the residential resale buyer checklist. Here's all the stuff you need to know. Here's all the things you need to go for. So it created the slot map. I also told it there's a certain way I want documents to be written, or not renamed. I want them renamed a certain way,
Mhm.
right? I told it I want counter offer 1, addendum 2. I want it name and then numbers. Spell it out with the numbers. I go back and find all of it. But like, I'll gladly share this with you, but it's not going to do you a whole lot of good because this is highly
Yeah.
customized to
Yeah.
me.
I get it.
But it gives you a starting point to get started with.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted things how I want it labeled, right? I want real estate, that this is creating an archive folder, right? Archive after we're done is I want it in my Google file, real estate, year, address, and then the files. That way I have my archive in my Google Drive. You can see right here under my connectors that my Google Drive is connected. If you're using any AI that has a paid subscription, that's the $20 a month version, you have the ability to connect. Like down here in the bottom under your name for Claude, you go to settings and you've got your connectors and stuff that you can do. So general extension developers, skills and connectors, plugins, all of these things you can go and add in. You can see all the things that my Claude has access to, including reading and sending iMessages.
Dropbox. Does it save or access Dropbox at all?
I don't use Dropbox, but yes, it does.
Oh, okay, because that's big for us,
Yeah, I don't.
primary. Say.
You can see here's your
Mm.
here's all your options. There's thousands of them. So Dropbox,
Mm.
there you go. I don't use Dropbox, but I know some of you do, so there you go.
Yeah.
Even if
So
you're using
then the security
ChatGPT,
question that I asked you the other day, so if I limit the connectors that it has access to, does that mean it won't go anywhere else other than those places I've given it permissions to go to?
yeah, that's it. It only has access to what you give it.
All right.
The reason Claude became such a heavily used program is because they were safety first. Anthropic was a
Yeah.
bunch of people that came from the ChatGPT world and said, you know what, we love AI, but we think we need to be a little bit stronger with our securities, and let's do a security first approach to AI. I'll say Claude is slower than ChatGPT. It's more thorough, but it's definitely a safer environment because it's not just going to willy-nilly and do things on its own. You have to give it permission to do everything. I would love to be able to just take the chains off and say, go run, do what I need you to do, and quit trying to, and we'll find workarounds, but it won't.
All right.
There,
So
there are no limits to what you can do. All you got to do is think about, what am I trying to replace? And I'll be honest, a transaction coordinator like I have is incredibly dense stuff. It's very complicated. It identifies files, it renames them, it organizes them, it logs into my browser, it uploads the documents into Command. If it doesn't have an opportunity, it creates the opportunity. If the contact's not in Command, it creates the contact in Command. If it doesn't have the information, it goes into my Follow Up Boss and finds the information. But yours may not be as dense because your system may be in one CRM instead of two, like mine. Your system might be easier to do because you're not trying to have it do as much as mine is doing. but I am legitimately replacing a person to do transactions because I have the skill that I'm just dropping a
Right.
document in, and from that document, it identifies address, key terms, parties involved. And from there, it triggers out, oh, it's a cash deal. I don't need a lender email. Oh, this is Dan's normal title person. That's a different email than the normal title email. And these are all things that I've built upon itself. It's like a Lego house. I've built the main house and I keep adding on little rooms and additions because I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what, let's do this and let's change that. Let's update this. So it's a living, growing, breathing
Right.
environment.
I feel like mine would be just as in-depth just because over the many years, the P&Ps that we've established and trained our VAs with, it has all that information. Check to see if it's cash versus financing. If so, you don't need that. So I get that. I wonder if
Here's a challenge for you, Michelle.
submitting.
Get your IT team to allow you to get a device that's powerful enough to do this. You know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about.
Yes.
Take all your SOPs, put them in a file on a
Mhm.
Google Drive, give it access to that file, and say, here's all of my SOPs. Go find what I'm missing. Virtually walk through it like a new employee and
Mhm.
ask me any questions that aren't absolutely clear through the SOPs. And once you get that clarity, then use that information and say, okay, now let's build a virtual team to help
Mhm.
solve some of these needs.
Yeah, I love that.
Right
Is
there.
there a space or a number of files limitation to the, okay.
You have to have a file on your computer or a file on your Google Drive to put it all in. I
Okay.
will say that the higher purchase amount, like I pay $200 a month for mine, but as you guys can see, I use it for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, mine has a 1,000,000 token context limit, which is roughly 3,000 pages of information.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
I have only ever hit my token limit once. And that's because I was doing 5 things at the same time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank
I
you
hope
for
it's
walking through that because it gives
it's
me
not
a
as in
little bit
depth as
more
I think
clarity.
yeah, I'm hoping it gives you some insight. Like it's not that hard. It just takes work.
Yeah, a long time. Just takes time.
Yeah, like I
And
said, I
and
did
thought
most of this
too.
on a Sunday when I was watching, God, what was that show? Alone? I don't know, where they're out in the wilderness trying to survive on their own and not die by bears.
Talking about Naked and Afraid.
No, I never watched that one. The whole nudity thing and my kids, I don't want them around it.
Yeah, no. It's the only one I know of that's like
But it's
that.
just some dumb TV in the
There's a
background
lot.
while I'm working on this because it gives me something in the background to engage my lizard brain while I'm working on something a little bit more dense. And that's how I work. You might work differently. It might be something you need to put 20 or 30 minutes a day into to build and change and try and work out. Whereas I am a manic deep diver. I will not do something for months and then all of a sudden dive head first until it's done. That's just how my brain works. Yours might be different. I was talking about building this transaction thing with Mikey, I don't know, 9, 10 months ago. And one day I was at the house and I had some extra free time. Jess wasn't home. I don't know where Jess was. She was doing something with Sydney. And I'm like, I was bored. I was like, you know what? This is a great time to see what Claude can do. And here we go.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
And I've even broken it a few times because I'm like, oh, I've confused it by asking it to do too many things. Because initially I started with a transaction coordinator for both sides. I had to split it to a buyer and a seller coordinator because they have different rule sets and it became confused.
Mm,
So and I even asked it to help me split it. So when it did, it split it and we started a new conversation and created a second skill for listings and one for buyers. And on my listing side, it does the same thing. It takes information from my command. If it's not there, it adds it. If it doesn't know it, it goes into FUB and finds it. Then it creates the checklists or sorry, the opportunity, uploads the documents in the checklist, and then it actually puts things in the listing for me. Like it uploads into the MLS for me. That is the sketchiest part so far because it's not always perfectly accurate. It picks one option when there's 4 or 5. So, and I had to train it, hey, not just select one, select all that are applicable within the range. And I updated a seller profile sheet. If you guys know what that looks like, the MLS profile sheet, it has all the check boxes, all of the options, all of the choices available as another contacts window. Like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Here's the resource material. Here's what you need to know. Go find that out. And it pulls all that information together on my sellers. One, it's kind of like my property research, but two, it helps me understand, like, maybe I didn't know what a house was called or what kind of style it really was. And from there, it does a little bit of data input for me. And I always go back and double check it.
Yeah, you have to do that, even
Yeah.
with.
How do you get it to log into your MLS? Well, I tried to do that, and it's like, we can't do that. It's
Google Chrome extension. You have to be logged in, and it just runs your Google Chrome.
oh, as the agent thing.
It will not, through the Google Chrome extension, it will not log you in. You have to already be logged in.
Okay.
That's the big thing, is like, Michelle, you're worried about it running away, is it will not click enter or click a submit button to log you in, even if it's a saved password, which is annoying to me because I'm like, I've given you permission, just freaking do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why my IT department is so concerned.
Well, there's a lot of validated concern there because it's a huge risk, and those that don't play in it and don't see how it works, like, you hear about the ability for it to go and think on its own, task on its own, access things outside of its sandbox, that becomes worrisome. And you hear all these stories on the news about AI hacking into another company and doing its own self-preservation work. Well, those are AIs we don't have access to. Most people don't realize that. Like, there are multiple different, we call AI buckets. Like in Claude, you have Haiku, Sonnet, Opus, and Fable. There's a fifth one that I don't remember what it's called. The fifth one is like military intelligence grade, no restrictions, can hack anything, crazy AI that they won't let out of the basement. That's the AI that broke containment and hacked into another company. It happened to be the exact same company on a different server in the same contained space, but it went and did it on its own. None of those products will ever be available to the open market. Now, I'm sure there's hackers out there that can do this, but there has been hackers out there that can do this. I don't know if you know this or not, but AI isn't new. They had AI in the 70s. It's just become more mainstream and understanding. Well, that's my AI rundown today. It's your Tech Thursday. Thanks for being a part of my TED Talk. This is Dan, your host. Glad that Michelle and I had a great conversation and Max was watching YouTube videos while we were talking. Anyone else learn something?
I did.
Yes.
Amazing.
I want to make sure you guys have access to all of this.
Yeah.
This is just making your lives better. That's all it is.
Well,
Until I
thank
see you tomorrow. Have a great